Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Decisive Campaigns, the Blitzkrieg from Warsaw to Paris. In the last episode we took quite a few of the Dutch cities and I want to keep at least a unit on both Delft and Leiden so they can't take it. The Dutch should be dropping significantly below 40, so I actually do anticipate them surrendering on the, I guess, in the 14th of May. So that's decent. Then I actually don't expect anything there, so I think they can keep moving. There are a few things that I could potentially do here as well. At the moment, let's also take a look at the mini-map. So, I did discuss about this encirclement last time, and we'll just slowly but gradually also whittle them down. I did also discuss that I have very little there currently, and I still think that I do. At any rate, if I want to close this up, the units from 4th Panzer, do I have any? Thing is that this also cuts off another smaller unit. If they want to go in here, I don't really care. I guess it's a reserve unit, but I do also want to move forward with the 20th. Putting them inside the Albert line might actually be a pretty decent idea here. Not necessarily looking to put them in there, but with these guys coming to potentially cut off whatever forces they have, I think it'll be worth exploring how far I can possibly go. Now, yeah, actually shouldn't have moved them there. I think, yeah, that's fine. I think at the basis, I wanna definitely not overcommit here while trying to deal with these. I think I don't need the 4th anymore, so I think I can spur the 4th north or to the west towards Brussels while using the 3rd as well to close this gap. Now, we do see some core artillery there as well. Currently, it's called cavalry, but they've mostly motorbikers. If I've had infantry there, I would gladly use it. But the problem is, it's just not there. So, let's keep these engineers in here as well. I don't want these guys to suddenly move down, cut me off, do any strange shenanigans. They have assault, but I don't need that for now. Let's actually use the 3rd Panzer artillery. I think generally whenever I can, I do like to use this. Yeah, it's only another 200, but yeah, that's still something. I mean, not only that, it also reduces the readiness, things like that, so. I don't see this encircled cavalry attacking so readily into this. But what I do find interesting is that I don't have another part of the 4th Panzer. Although, it might be smaller than usual. Who knows? Either way, I'm coming up to the dial line here as well, so it will be curious to see what the French will have done. Ah, there we have it. The other part of 4th Panzer. Now, let's start sending it up here towards Brussels as well. I'm not saying they'll immediately surround whatever group they have here or something, but, well, encircling is always my general goal. So if I could potentially do a big sweep towards Charleroi, with these forces going down here, these forces going down here, encircling yet another significant portion of enemy forces, that would be amazing, but we'll have to see how that turns out, obviously. Definitely also still busy dealing with other Belgian forces, so it might still be a problem. Seems like only I lost artillery here. That really sucks. Let's see. Yeah, Cross River for tanks here gives me a very big penalty. But I don't think that just going and crossing will give me the thing that I want either. Now if I'm... Okay, they already have a second part there. So one thing that at least I'm potentially looking for here as well is... I mean, these guys are encircled, but that doesn't really help. I can see myself encircling these guys as well here. That's not much, but it's at least an entire fortress division, which is still quite a lot of units. Like this is 5,000 and... it's also the majority of the 5th Cavalry, or the entire 5th Cavalry. So, yeah, this is still a good 30,000 French units encircled. However you look at it. So, that means, regardless, their plan to protect the Meuse will have failed. Since I already have the 29th motorized, I would rather use the 2nd to plug the gap here. So like this, they would have to go and cross the bridge here. Yeah, actually, I'd rather stick it up here, just a little bit further out. Make it a lot more difficult for them. Now, they might actually try to counterattack. They do have a the first colonial division here as well. That might indicate a little bit of trouble. Part of that 5th Corps over here. I will, so I definitely need to bring the 29th around, and because the 29th is part of, actually, yeah, these guys not necessarily. If I'm gonna go for an encirclement of more forces, I would want to send 8th Panzer over here. And actually try to send them up in an encirclement, but we'll see how that goes. I would be surprised if they didn't defend Charleroi. Obviously, even with that artillery, I cannot go into Namur. Either way. So that's yeah, actually I think we're fine. Or not. Yeah, again, definitely underestimated the risks. Yeah, you guys need to wait. Okay, as the 12th Army. Again, it's not much, but again, it's still 50 trucks. So, 12th Army. Also looking to deal with those fortress formations. Yep. I do also have engineers part of that corps. Well, these guys moving up. This artillery will also have to go up eventually. Okay. So now the 29th, in a way, is free to continue. However, apparently I already did that. This turn. I mean, Division Montmedy, I would probably. I don't even know where Montmedy is. However, since it does seem to be pretty likely that I will not be able to cross here because of French defenses, I might just as well defend along this river and move my armored divisions up. So, for example, the 13th is part of this corps, and at this time I might just as well move it up and let the infantry do its job here. Yeah, that doesn't directly get it closer to Paris, but the goal is to bypass some of the French defenses here in Cross the Meuse and other areas until we get to better tank terrain. Because, you know, these forests, that's just not ideal. I do think we can agree on that. As far as the 17th, they actually cannot get in there, but I will still put them on this side. These guys are... they can technically move, but it seems like they would just much rather dig into Virton. Yeah, it seems like, at least. I will show them some punishment. On the next turn. Part of the 16th army, right? Yeah. Now, these guys, I would think, yeah, I want them to move a little bit further along the line. Sure. Getting morale and readiness on these guys is never a bad thing. Okay, so currently I have no other units that could technically move into Montmedy. I think. No, I do have some. Okay. This will allow the first to move a lot closer. As well. You guys are part of the 16th? Sure. Like, I know these turns can sometimes actually take quite long. Still gonna keep Groß Deutschland there. Technically, you could move up here. But I'm just not too interested in them crossing the river here, despite that being a destroyed bridge. Actually, that's fine. That'll be fine. They can't really do a whole lot from this side. It will cost them a lot of movement points. So, okay, so then we still have this 29th left. As a group. Oh, okay. Well, currently that's only the core type command. It's interesting that they would put it up front. I mean, I have to say that yeah, that is a bit weird. Actually move further. Well, I don't see why I should not get a toehold across the Meuse here. They could technically move even further. Okay, that's something. Luckily, they can still move back. So, you know, I'll let them hold out there. At least until they can get their reinforcements in the form of the other units. But, okay, so they got the 61st Infantry Division there. They seem to have some, you know, units actually a while to the back of the Meuse. You would think that they would at least protect the crossings. But I already have 1, 2, you know, 3, a very significant crossing over at Givet. So 4. That doesn't put me directly into France. You know, you can see there's no border here. Not on the map, it isn't. But yeah, here. So, you know, for example, here we have Belgium, and then moving into France. So we are some ways into France in a few areas, but not by too much so far. But I do think we've gotten some important crossings already, so that's pretty good. And we're bypassing Sedan. There's no way I'm gonna attack into it. As poorly as I'm keeping my my losses low. Sure. So I've definitely taken care of down there. And it seems like pretty much everything up here has also been dealt with. Not actually going to do anything there. These guys will just almost 99% chance breakout. I'm just not too keen on crossing because I think there are too many forces that might go and attack. It will take them a lot of movement to get up here, even if they will. So I'm not seeing them doing anything weird there immediately either. Yeah, I'll just have to see how several of these encirclements will be going in the near future. I'm wasting a lot of potential movement on the 20th, but until I have any infantry or something along those lines, I cannot actually move those guys up. Just straight up impossible. Last thing that I want to do here before shipping over the turn is... Yeah, you have 0 EP, so they need to wait until they can repair that bridge. Yeah, the Dutch are actually in quite a predicament, technically. Most of their major cities have fallen. The only ones that haven't are technically The Hague and Dordrecht, and well, also these. They're all 1 victory point, but I think the Dutch should already be low enough on VP. So I would think that they'd surrender. Yeah, let's move the 4th Army to Verviers. I can see myself crushing this and then moving through this here, you know, gap. Unless they have significant forces at the dial. I actually do not have any good reconnaissance there. So they actually might have significant defenses, which I'm not too sure about. Post-capitulation actually gets to stay there for this turn. I'll move up some flak, but yeah, we don't have any more cards to play. I was just very interested in seeing how far that got. Alright. I'm gonna... Let's see. Yeah, the only thing I didn't do is the terror bombing. That actually does still send me quite a few political points. 59 is quite nice in that regard. Either way, we'll be coming up on the 14th. Belgian morale is not likely to fall quickly for now, whereas the Dutch was 45. And it was going to drop because 45, 43, 42, 41. Yeah, I'll have to see. Yeah, 41 it would be, and then 40 at least. I also took... No, that's nothing, okay. Just snooping off another 100. Just like here. Might just flip it over from not giving up to giving up, because it might mean that their morale dropped by just 1 more point, coincidentally. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna meet you back at the other turn, where I'll do a brief update on what has happened, at least. So meet you right there. Alright, I'm back, and it seems like the Dutch have capitulated. The Dutch base morale dropped below 40, and political support vanished this turn, causing the Dutch troops to surrender. If the Netherlands play by a human player, that's the last turn they have to play. After it, the now defunct regime will be put to sleep. The only merciful thing to do. It's a clear weather turn. Obviously, the Netherlands now have 0. We have 1% losses. Belgian losses are 10%. Yeah, so let's first of all take a look. So we have everything in the Netherlands now seceding to us. These guys stayed within the pocket. They retreated somewhat, interestingly enough. seems like we got some attacks here, and they've put up a lot more resistance out there. Definitely still some British, but I'm still hoping to make an encirclement around Charleroi, potentially. Seems like they're starting to like really block me, at least here. Well, let's take a look at the yeah, they broke through. Let's take a look at the history. So some artillery, and then also some artillery, making us lose 5 tanks, 50 Opel Blitz, another artillery with nothing, another artillery, and I guess the surrender. Yeah, so that's at least a first step, not bad. I guess I can make a few, let's just say, somewhat easier moves, especially now that the Netherlands have capitulated. Definitely something, you know, that we can work with. It does mean that I want to start getting my units together, even, you know, units like the 22nd Luftlandde, things like that. Eventually they'll be able to catch up. I'll be looking as well at you know, potentially indeed bundling these guys together. So they actually either move here, but then they would, yeah, they can still move down through there. That's probably pretty reasonable. Let's actually see how far the 14th can go. These, of course, are Belgium areas. They do have a, let's say, pretty good advancement towards Antwerp right now, although I would be pretty surprised if they can take it on the march like that. Let's take a look for the 31st. So it seems like they might potentially have something in there, but it's not 100% clear necessarily. Well, they might. Now, I'll just move even the 19th just right along. Okay, so they didn't. And interesting, I can actually put a unit in there, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, okay, so I'm not too surprised to at least see a unit in there. These are all kinds of bunkers, interestingly enough, around Antwerp. But yeah. I'll try to also use some rail movement, but we have so many units to move that I can probably yeah, I'll just take a look, basically. I don't think there is any real reason. Yeah, both bridges are out, so I will have to just cross down here. There's no other good movement for them. So I'm just moving only the the 10th Division. But we don't need any protection or anything there, so that's looking pretty good. If we're looking down here, it seems like, you know, they've gathered quite a bunch of forces down here, so I'm not too surprised that that'll be going on. I'll re-encircle these guys for sure. We'll see what can be done further down there. Either way, I'm going to wrap things up here. I want to thank you for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like, a comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you on the next episode. It seems like they got these guys out, at least for the moment. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time, and bye-bye.